Hi there. My name is Aaron. Welcome to the Cult of Cinema International, and it looks like it's that time of year again. Black Friday. It's coming up, and it's coming fast. So tonight we are looking at. Hey, William, always the first, right? The Black Friday sale for Vinegar Syndrome, as well as looking at the partner titles that are coming out here for this week. I hope you enjoyed the new introduction. There's actually a slightly different version of it that I have as well that'll be coming up in the near future. But we're all a bit upgrading here in Cult of Cinema, and hope you guys had a fantastic Halloween. But tonight we have to talk about what's going on with Vinegar Syndrome because this is starting to look like their biggest sale ever. And I'm going to go directly into the Vinegar Syndrome, about our sale page in a second. But first, I'm going to read you from the email here. Hey there, Sinner Arcadia. Hey there, late night. Hey, Dustin. Hey. So yeah, it is basically right around the corner. As in, we're 3 to 4 weeks away from the sale. There are two titles that we don't know, and I will tell you something right now. I don't go on forums, and that's why I don't know if there's been any like guesses or any more hints on what the titles are. But I am excited, literally excited for the Vinegar Syndrome secret titles. And it's been a while since I've been really excited for the Vinegar Syndrome secret titles. Not that they haven't been good, but hey there, Dave. This really sounds like it's up my alley. So I've got it right here. I'm going to read from the side of the screen. And then we're going to look at the partner labels. But this is kind of important. Hey there, Maddie. Are you excited about the sale? But maybe I should put on glasses for this. I do have glasses. I still wear them, by the way. But just when I'm looking up close, I really can't see very well. So before you dive into this Black Friday newsletter, point your web browser or app to Facebook, Twitter, or Instagram accounts because, as always, you can win a $25 gift certificate. And I won one at one point, and actually it was during a Valentine's Day sale, so there's only one type of movies I could get, but I enjoyed them. But here. So the rumors are true. Black Friday is now less than 4 weeks away. The big event goes live at 12:01 a.m. Eastern Standard Time on November the 25th. And for those that aren't aware, right here, live on this channel, pre-sale, we will be doing a pre-sale show. We'll be talking about, we're giving our last minute guesses. We're going to be talking about, hey there, Ice. We're going to talk about everything, and I'll see if I can try to get a guest on as well, because I think this is going to be a really good one. I think that this time around, sometimes it feels like the best titles are shown before the sale. I don't think that's the case this time, especially for somebody like me. So, working around the clock to bring you another monumental weekend of savings and surprises, including 50% off the SRP on more than 400 Vinegar Syndrome Archives, Vinegar Syndrome Ultra, and Vinegar Syndrome Pictures VSP releases, and over 100 partner label releases, along with plenty of new merch, clothes, and so much more. It's everything that you've come to know and love. I really do think that they're pushing forward for a gigantic sale. Well, if you've not partaken in our flash pre-order, which I kind of wish I did now, a few weeks back, never fear, as our full November lineup will be back up and ready to add to your collection during the sale. To recap, Roddy Harrington's action classic Roadhouse is our latest VSU, and that's going to be a lot of fun. And features a brand new 4K restoration prepared by us specifically for this release, as well as a comprehensive selection of new and archival extras. So I'm kind of guessing the Kevin Smith audio commentary probably still gonna be on there. As well, okay. Adam Rifkin's The Invisible Maniac finally comes to disc on both UHD and Blu-ray via our stunning 4K restoration and is loaded to the gills with extras. Our long-awaited second installment in the Homegrown Horror series is here, this time featuring a trio of rare and long unavailable slashers. Michael S. O'Rourke's Moonstalker, Dennis Devine and Steve Jarvis's Dead Girls, and Jimmy Lee's Hanging Heart, each restored in 4K. Finally, our latest foray into Hong Kong action cinema, Ringo Lam's savagely violent and genre-bending Burning Paradise, which fuses high-concept fantasy, incredible stunt work, and non-stop brutality into one epic film. As with every sale, the cornerstone will be the dastardly duel of secret surprise titles. This is where it gets really interesting for me. Hey there, EH, welcome. A thumbs up number 5 or 6. Well, thank you for everybody that's there that's giving you a thumbs up. It really helps out the channel. And this is where it gets really exciting. As always, we aim to shock and delight with each surprise release, and you can be rest assured that this time will be no different, as we present 2 never on blue bloodbaths. First, traversing one of our favorite genres, the 80s slasher. You guys know that's my bag right there. We're proud to be bringing a SoCal deep cut, which hasn't seen a video release in over 2 decades, to blue, complete with a brand new feature-length making of documentary, and as the centerpiece of the sale, debuting on both Blu-ray and UHD for the very first time, we'll be offering a star-studded sleaze fest that has been flooring audiences for decades and is at last getting the release it deserves. Watch for more mouthwatering hints in the coming weeks. Additionally, we'll be unveiling our next 2 VSA releases, one of which we will present our initial of many dives into the filmography of one of the world's most iconic action characters. Plus, we've readied another set of catalog slips, which harken back to our VS roots, along with our first ever variant slip. We are Slasher Bud Cinema, which will provide fresh takes on 2 more Vinegar Syndrome classics and coincide with the overall theme of this year's sale. Comic books. Curious what that means? Well, we've partnered with the acclaimed comic book writer and Ignatz Award winner Charles Forsman, who has scribed a brand new comic book based on New York Ninja. A website exclusive variant cover edition of the super special comic book will be available during the sale. And get ready to prepare to dive even farther into the New York Ninja universe. In addition to all the above, 11 of our partner labels have new releases which are up for pre-order. And we're going to get to that in just a few moments. They're gleaming it. Doing a variant covers generation. I'm actually very interested in the variant covers. Sometimes, there were times when some of the Vinegar Syndrome slip covers, as much as I love them, may not have been totally my bag. And I'm going to get another option and another chance. And for people that have all the slip covers and they don't feel like they want to get them, they obviously don't have to. Nobody makes you. But I think it's a great idea. Hey there, Phil Much. You're welcome, man. Hey, Indy. This is huge, man. This is going to be a big slasher-oriented sale with an emphasis on comic books. There's a couple ways that could go. I remember And I'm pretty sure this already was released, so I don't think this is going to be the release. So a movie about a guy that drew like comic characters, and it was a monster in it. I'm trying now to remember the name of the film. What I do remember is that there's a show called Head of the Class, and unfortunately, Head of the Class right now is probably remembered for the creepiness that is Dan Snyder. But there was this kind of cooler character. Might have been Eric. His name might have been Eric. I'm not sure. And he was kind of like the leather jacket wearing character. But he did a couple films aside from that in the 80s. One of them was Chud 2, about the Chud. And there was another one, though, that where he was a comic book artist, but I can't remember which one that was. People thought the Invisible Slipcover was a copy of the comic. Do we know what it is yet? You mean like the original Texas Chainsaw Massacre? I don't think so. I don't think they'd be allowed to do it. I think the rights are elsewhere. I'd be, honestly, to be honest with you, I love the fact that they put it part two, and I will eventually buy that. I need to upgrade my edition to part two. I got the old school Arrow Blu-ray, you know, the limited edition. They put it back in the day. But one of the things is that I like to see them do is right now there's a lot of horror films that are coming out that are going directly and strictly to streaming services. They're not really getting any kind of physical releases. Um, I wouldn't mind seeing some of those just pop out on a boutique label because let's be honest, like Tubi or Netflix or you know most of them aren't going to be putting them out on physical releases. So it'll be really good to see them get an actual very cool physical release. So let's do a quick look at the rules for the sale, and then we're going to go in and look at the partner labels because there's a couple really interesting ones this time around that I want to talk about. And I did talk about the Canadian one there before. If you haven't seen the first of this video, go back later on, not right now, and watch it because we got a new opening, and I'm very proud of it. I'm just going to bring up the your comments right up here. So that we can go into, so I don't have to, you don't have to see my face anymore, and we can look into the partner labels and the stuff that's coming up. There we go. Now I can see your messages, Jesse, and that, did I see the Death Note Simpsons thing? No, I did not see that yet, though I really want to see it. But let's look. All right, so basically this is the Black Friday primer. That's, of course, from Invisible Maniac. So as I mentioned there before, we have the sale starting at 12:01 Eastern Standard Time. As we do every year, we will have a pre-show coming on to the channel, on this channel right here, so make sure that you're here for that. We'll try to put lots of surprises, make it really good. I'll try to get a guest or two in. And as always, on the Crimson Cult channel, around a half hour or so before the sale goes live, we're going to go there, and we're going to be there for to make sure that you see that we can also all shop together and see the announcements as they go live for both Vinegar Syndrome, and we'll check out Severin as well. What titles will be on sale? Every Vinegar Syndrome VSA Picorama partner label with a release date prior to July of 2022. All will be discounted 50% off the SRP, which I'm going to look at in a second now. Special note, VSU and VSP releases titles in our staff pick sections, merch, clothing, and certain older partner label titles currently under distribution by another company may not be discounted. That's just something that they're not able to do. So if you place an order during the Flash pre-order event or you pre-ordered Roadhouse on its own, what do you need to know? Well, you don't need to order them again, is basically what you need to know. What that also means, though, is you probably open up a free shipping option for yourself by doing that. So smart work. So when you go in, rather than starting a new order, what you do is you grab the stuff that you want, you add to my pre-existing sale order, shipping option, and that way you're not paying for shipping twice. Cellar Dweller is the one. Thank you. That's the one I was thinking about. Product comes out in 4K. That's really nice. Brian Robbins, thank you. I was a huge fan of Brian Robbins back in the day. Not quite sure what he does right now. Oh, Chet is much better. So if you're a current subscriber, for instance, what you need to know basically is that you're going to get the Invisible Maniac, Homegrown Horrors Volume 2, Burning Paradise, and the two secret titles, so you're not going to have to order those. You will have to order the Roadhouse and the two new VSA releases on your own. Those won't be a part of the title of your sales package. And if you are somebody that is that haven't been a subscriber yet, well, keep an eye. There's a subscriber month coming up. Not yet though. A week, right? So yeah, in 2023, there's during a subscriber week. So I'll keep you updated on that. December is partners only month, so there's going to be no Vinegar Syndrome new titles coming out in the month of December, but there will be lots of new partner labels titles, and it'll be a lot of fun. Hey, Cinema Dave, welcome, man. There are so many sales. You did have a cool mullet. I'm gonna get you on town, man, soon. We need to chat again. It's been too long. So shipping wise, this is what we got here: $6 economy, $12 priority. That's USPS. $8 Canadian standard fee. If you're shipping internationally, then it's $17 FedEx International. All free shipping thresholds are disabled during the sale, so there's no free shipping during the sale unless you manage to get in on the pre-order bonus. It'll be interesting to see with what Homegrown Horrors Volume 2 is going to be like. They said it's going to be 4K restorations. But we got to make that happen, Dave. But I'm not sure if that means 4K, if it's 4K restorations on Blu-ray or 4K restorations on 4K. I think it's Blu-ray. That's a great cast. Well, but the Chat 2 is a good cast. How long will it take to order? Well, it'll take a bit. Every single Vinegar Syndrome sale I've noticed has gotten more popular than the last one before it. So always remember this. If you are a subscriber, your orders will ship out first. If you are somebody that took advantage of the pre-order, your orders will ship out next. If you are somebody that are neither of those, your orders will ship out after those, but they'll try to get them out as quickly as possible. That being said, as always, please, give them time to get things out and to do things. There are going to be limited editions, as always. So make sure you look into the limited edition section. We will check in there as well tonight. But I think before we do anything else tonight, what we have to do is look at the partner labels. I'm so jealous, Dustin. I really need that 4K release. I want the Amityville Horror one too. They both look amazing. Are you serious? President and Chief Executive Officer of Paramount Pictures Nickelodeon? I had no clue. And all that without having to get creepy and take weird pictures of Ariana Grande. My better half would 1,000,000% agree with you, Jesse, on the Mexican wrestlers one. She would love to see some stuff. She would love to see Mexican wrestler stuff. She'd love to see Bollywood style titles, horror, and a lot of the kind of the cheesier earlier stuff. DH. Oh, do you mean like as in like a a denomination, like a monetary denomination. That's Dirham, which is the monetary denomination in Morocco. So is that what's up there? Yeah, okay. I'll switch it over to something to U.S. dollars because most of my people are from the U.S. Oh yeah, I just mentioned Dan Snyder. Hey Jay, welcome, man. Mind, Body, and Soul, and Minefield. Really cool one releases. My better half looked at that Mondo Macabre Bollywood set really, really strongly. Unfortunately, where we are out of country right now, we usually only buy things now when I'm when I'm visiting. All right, let's start off with the first one, and we get Distant by Big World Pictures. What exactly is Distant? I don't remember actually, but I do like the cover. Mamet is a relatively successful commercial photographer who has been struggling to come to terms with the growing gap between his artistic ideals and his professional obligations. Me and him both. His tedious workload, coupled with the lingering loss he still feels for his ex-wife, newly married and on the verge of leaving Istanbul for Canada, leaves Mamet clinging to the melancholy and obsessive routines of his solitary life. So, he's a basic tortured artist. When I think of Hot Snake, Guns, and Guts from Vinegar Syndrome, is that if that's the one that has a title by my not so favorite director, Rene Cardona Jr. I wasn't too big on it. It wasn't one of those that I like. I like spaghetti westerns, but the, it, it's that's not my spaghetti western. 70s documentary would be fantastic. A VSD, like kind of a line, that would be cool. I would buy the hell out of those. Without warning, Mehmet's distant relative, Yusuf arrives in Istanbul, determined to find a job aboard a ship, so that he may fulfill his dream of traveling around the world. In need of a place to stay, as he searches for work, Yusuf imposes himself on Mehmet, who resents the sudden intrusion. I'm really liking this film, but nonetheless feels obliged to help his family. Doesn't take long for Yusuf to discover that looking for work, the work he's looking for isn't available, but he manages to prolong his stay with Muhammad by formulating stories that would suggest otherwise. His hope waning, Yusuf resorts to spending his days drifting through the streets of Istanbul, slowly coming to the realization that without work, he may soon need to return home. Muhammad tries to help by offering him a job as an assistant during a photography shoot, but the fix is temporary as the two men struggle to make a connection. Communication is slowly reduced to the bare minimum, and their time together must come to an end. I know to a lot of you guys that's not going to sound uh, too exciting, but I'm finding that lately I'm really liking these films a lot more, kind of these just slow character dramas. Because the movie's great. That's terrible dialogue, terrible treatment of animals. That's the other thing, right? Like, that really, that's the thing that bothers me. Altered Innocence got Ilsa. We'll get to that one in a second. I mean, there's some really good releases that we can see coming out from Vinegar Syndrome. I'm really excited about the slasher possible. I'm still a big slasher fan, and I feel it's almost like in the last little while, um, a lot of the companies like Vinegar Syndrome and stuff have gotten away from the slasher stuff because there's been other stuff that they've been doing. You gotta diversify, but the thought of going back to some of the old school slasher stuff and to hit like to say the word comic books when you guys know that I've put on like a cult of comics section onto my channel. You know this is right up my alley. Down Dead 2005 is getting a 4K release in January. Hmm. Van- Vanessa Paradis. Oh, cool. From Knife and Heart. Stars as alienated, angry Marie, living as a smart-aleck teenage street hustler, burdened by the rage brought upon by the suicide of her mostly fragile mother, played by Florence Thomason. Marie's fury inspires her to track down and kill the man who abandoned her and her mother in the first place. Her father, Jacques, played by iconic French superstar Gerard Depardieu. What unfolds is a poignant, desperate plea for tolerance, acceptance, where tragedy and angst can unwind and be replaced by forgiveness and love. Again, fantastic actors for this film right here. Come on, show. I'm a huge fan of Gerard Depardieu. And this is one I'm going to have to go down really quickly because the picture. Uh, Here we go. The film's okay. So this is, of course, the third and I think final, if you can correct me if I'm wrong on this, of the Doris Wishman trilogy of box sets that they put out. No one will ever make movies like Doris Wishman made movies. One of the most prolific women filmmakers in the history of American cinema, writer, director, editor Wishman created collisions between surrealism and exploitation that feel like they materialized from an alternate universe. Films of Doris Wishman, The Daylight Years, surveys the early sun-soaked nudist era of Wishman's career. Oh, maybe it's not the last one. From Nude on the Moon, Wishman's dreamlike sci-fi triumph, to A Hideout in the Sun, a crackpot nudie noir, Agfa plus Something Weird are honored to present these effervescent DIY treasures in gorgeous new restorations. Uh, what do we got here? We got Nude on the Moon and Blaze Star Goes Nudist, 61 to 62. Yeah, they got more boxes here coming out. Hideout in the Sun and Gentlemen Prefer Nature Girls, 60 and 63. And Diary of a Nudist in 61. And The Prince and the Nature Girl in 65. Looks like we've got commentaries on on four of the films, and it's going to be done on a 3 disc set. So if you've seen the other ones, then you're probably going to know exactly what you're going to be getting. Trying to remember when Forgotten Jolly Volume 5 and Dead Heat were released. Uh, Dead Heat was released earlier in the year. No, I think much earlier in the year. I think 5 was released around mid-year. And we come to Saturn's Core, which one of you guys said is like the only release you're interested in. And of course, all these here at this point have limited edition slipcovers, which is important to a lot of you guys. In the near future, the world's population is forced to stay confined in their homes at all times. Due to the depleting ozone layer, those adventurers quickly devolve into zombie-like mutant outsiders. The GVC agency provides all complying citizens with communication and entertainment needs through its government-regulated internet. Joseph Cyrus is a door-to-door PC repairman forced to brave the perils of the outside world in order to keep GVC clients fully connected. During his travels, Joseph soon begins seeing visions of a godlike being that urges him to destroy the internet using a homemade virus. Is Joseph losing his sanity, serving the whims of a higher power, or being tricked by the world's greatest trickster? The Shadow Video feature debut from Drop Dead Films, a New Jersey-based film collective formed by the innovative duo of author Barry Gertson, the Between Time and 3-time Emmy Award-winning director Matthew Giaquinto, who did Spider-Man and The Daily Show. The Good Book remains one of the most prophetic and imaginative techno-horror epics to arise from the 90s micro-budget underground, featuring an appearance by Bob Doran from Evil Dead, special makeup effects by Fred Kramer, who worked on John Wick 3 and Vanilla Skies, and an energetic soundtrack featuring Saigon Kick and American Standard. Good Book is an awe-inspiring mashup of inventive plot twists, practical splatter effects, and genuine atmospheric scares. It looks like it is loaded to the gills with special features, including a feature-length documentary. And I'm gonna say right now, this is really interesting to me. Hey there, Boredom Strikes. And I will always, if I'm thirsty, Ragnar, I'm gonna swallow. You're gonna. Some people just can't be pleased, guys. I think we're alone now. Now, this is a documentary I have watched many, many times. Just for Ragnar, I think I'll take another drink. Someone's looking for a timeout. This feature documentary is an intimate portrait of two people who are deeply in love with the 80s pop singer Tiffany. Jeff Turner is a 50-year-old man from Santa Cruz, California with Asperger's syndrome. He has a very friendly and childlike spirit and can talk to anybody for hours on end, but finds it difficult to maintain friendships and has never had a girlfriend. He has been attending Tiffany concerts since 1988 and describes her as his best friend, mentor, and protector. Kelly McCormick is a 35-year-old intersex person from Denver, Colorado who identifies as a lesbian. She loves running, watching action movies, and doing impressions. She also has never been in a romantic relationship, but says she loves Tiffany down to her bone marrow. Both Jeff and Kelly have been called stalkers by the media and other Tiffany fans. This film allows them to share their side of the story. Filmed over the course of 6 years, I Think We're Alone Now takes you deep into their lives and shows the power of having something to believe in. Yeah, some people just can't be pleased, man. So we got three commentary tracks on here. One from Jeff Turner, one from Kelly McCormick, and the director's commentary track. Got short update documentaries on both Kelly and Jeff. We got Jeff talking on Natalie Wood and Jeff's Alyssa Milano update. I know about that, actually. How the movie came to be. There's a short animation on that one. The mysterious Tiffany letters, Jeffisms, Arian's angelic visit, Marshall's weeks and rhythmic gymnastics, Kelly's poetry, Kelly's impressions, Preston B. Nichols' short documentary, Dan Holey's Snakes music video featuring Preston B. Nichols. It's a weird one, but it's a good one. Basically, if you haven't seen this one, and I'm pretty sure that a lot of people have seen this one by now, this is a fascinating documentary. Actually, I did know that while he was coming from Criterion. And it's unique. I'll say that it's unique in that we see things from the, I guess, the side of the obsessed fan or stalker, as some people would call it, and that can be pretty freaky on both sides of it. Now we're getting the side from the fan perspective, and we're not really getting like the the side from like Tiffany herself, who has to be on the other side of this. And sometimes it can be, it's nice to see it from the other angle because there's definitely things that you don't think about, but it can be scary too. Anybody that's ever put themselves out there in the public eye can really understand how she must have felt uh, about this. Luckily, these seemed, or at least tended to be more harmless than not. But when I was growing up, I still remember the Rebecca Schaefer thing. And yeah, I used to watch a show called My Sister Sam. And it had Pam Dauber from Mork and Mindy and had Rebecca Schaefer who played her sister, the titular sister Sam. And David Nunn from American Werewolf in London. So, like many of the like young teens at the time, totally in love with Rebecca Schaefer. Um, and was shocked to turn on the news one day, only to to find out that that she was shot by a stalker that came to her door and shot and killed her. So my spouse usually she drops on here every once in a while, but more often than not, stand in silence. You'll see her in the Crimson Cult, so on the Patreon account. We did an hour-long video there, and we're going to be doing more there as well. Plus, we're doing a live video together. Uh, she just has to check her schedule to make sure that we can actually align it, so that she's not working and that I'm not busy. But we're hoping to get one done. Thank you, Sin Arcadia. The Icarus line must die from Dark Star. What do we got with this one here? The Icarus line must die is a dramatic narrative feature set against the backdrop of the current LA underground music scene. The film tracks Joe Cardamone, frontman of notorious punk band Bad Boys, the Icarus line as he navigates his way through the ups and downs of the modern music landscape. With a new record completed and major label within sight, Joe fights to keep his band, his relationships, and his life from falling apart. It looks like we had like performances from the Pink Mountain Drops, Together Pangea, the Icarus line, Retox, Obliterations, and Annie Hardy of Giant Drag on there as well. The show that Heather Langenkamp's on was called Just the Ten of Us. She actually did get a stalker from that show too. So people often think that like Heather Langenkamp's stalker came from the Nightmare on Elm Street films, but it didn't. It came from the series Just the Ten of Us, the one that you're talking about. Tiffany actually made a series of jazz albums that are kind of like jazzy type music. That it's really really good. This one seems okay. I mean, if you're a punk fan, you're definitely gonna be into this. We got Jane by Charlotte coming from Utopia. And that's going to be, of course, Jane Birkin, right? Yeah. Charlotte Gainsbourg looks at her mother, Jane Birkin, in a way she never did. Overcoming a sense of reserve, using a camera lens, they expose themselves to each other, begin to step back, leaving space for a mother-daughter relationship. So this is a documentary. So for people that like documentary. Tell your brother thanks a lot. I really appreciate that. Yeah, Tiffany was young when she did that. Tiffany was one of the ones that started those like the '80s mall tours back then. So, at the time, where malls were much more of a bigger thing before online. A lot of like the young artists that were trying to talk about with what kind of relate to the teenage set. Usually younger bands like New Kids on the Block, Tiffany, people like that would do like tours in malls. Rebecca Schaefer. She was from the series My Sister Sam with Pam Dover and David Nunn. And I do like the blue. So Mind, Body, and Soul is one I think that you guys are going to get a kick out of because it's a culture shock release. This is something that I thought Vinegar Cinema put out. So I'm, I'm a huge Power Rangers fan. So, because we got some really cool stuff here, because this has Ginger Lynn Allen. Uh, it was also an adult star, but she did like regular stuff as well, including Boogie Nights. Wings Hauser, the great Wings Hauser, Jay Richardson, and directed by Rick Sloan, who brought us films like Hobgoblins and the Vice Academy films. All Brenda wants is a normal life with a normal boyfriend, but she soon finds that her boyfriend is anything but normal. He's part of a satanic cult that makes human sacrifices. A police-interrupted ritual at the cult's demonic temple lands Brenda in jail. Upon release, she has to pick up the pieces of her shattered life with the help of a protective lawyer, a hardened detective, and her old cellmate. But the cult hasn't forgotten Brenda, and they will stop at nothing to silence her forever. It'd be worth checking out. I mean, like, I'm guessing like where it was done pre the times when they'd be like restoring. That if it's online anywhere, it might be on like some, you know, a website or on YouTube. I just grew up in the time that it came on. I don't think I've ever seen it since it actually came on, but that always stuck with me. I remember watching the news. I think Pam Dauber was a photographer, and her sister, I'm not sure if sister came lives with her, but anyway, it was a fun show. So we get a full length adult commentary with director Rick Sloan, archival interviews with Sloan and Ginger Lynn Allen, and a new interview with art director Mark A. Richardson. So some really cool, interesting stuff here. Interested in the commentary by Rick Sloan. Definitely interested into the interview with Ginger Lynn Allen. And I love Wingshauser, so super cool stuff there. And here's where we get into my jam right now. Yeah, Police Academy is definitely on Blu-ray. It was actually not an expensive Blu-ray if I remember correctly. So you might be able to get it for like a fairly decent price. Minefield with Michael Ironside, Lisa Langolis, and Christopher Plummer. So if you got to watch our Scream Factory video that we did for the freshman years on the Crimson Cult channel, then you heard me briefly talk about, because my better half did not want to talk about the movie The Nest, but I talked about Lisa Langolis. So Lisa Langolis is kind of a Canadian scream queen, and you've probably seen her, and even if you don't know her name, you just didn't realize it. If you saw Class of 1984, for instance, if you saw The Nest, there was another one with rats. The kid was shot here in Canada, like with giant, like with dogs, dachshunds, like dressed up like rats. Um, that she was in, and of course this one right here. The UK set. That's the one thing of. The war is on for brain control. In the long shadow of an experimental CIA mind control program, Sergeant Keelan O'Reilly, Michael Ironside, begins experiencing violent flashbacks of his treatments at the hands of the sinister Dr. Sartorius, played by Christopher Plummer. When the body count on his latest case inexplicably begins pointing towards his own fragmented past, a romance with Sartorius' criminal prosecutor, Lisa Langolis, raises the stakes. Riley must forge a path forward through a hall of mirrors conspiracy stretching from the mafia to the highest levels of the CIA, culminating in a shocking stadium-sized confrontation. Made by a supergroup of Canadian genre filmmakers, including George Mihalka. That's the guy who did my Blood Valentine, guys. She wasn't happy birthday to me. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's how you pronounce it, and I could be wrong, but you know I've been wrong before. And Tom Barry from the Amityville Curse, who joined forces to develop the script with novelist William Deverell. Minefield was eventually brought to the screen by exploitation master Jean-Claude Lord, who did The Vindicator, another little fun title. The result is a uniquely ambitious experiment in genre filmmaking that's part explosive action movie, part MK Ultra inspired conspiracy theory, and part sleazy underworld crime saga. Reuniting Lord with his Visiting Hours lead, because, yep, that's the guy that did Visiting Hours, Minefield emerges as one of Michael Ironside's standout star vehicles, and one of those few times when you're going to get to see Michael Ironside in a good girl role. Deadly Eyes, thank you, Senator Kate. That's exactly what I'm talking about. I love the movie too. And I forgot that she was in Phobia. I wonder if she wanted to forget that she was in Phobia. That was a bit of a troubled like production. We got an interview with the director, an interview with Tom Barry, interview with Lisa Angolis. Plus, we get Lisa's directors. Langolis reflects on 12 memorable collaborations. That should be really, really good, by the way, guys. He did do Visiting Hours, which is a fantastic film. I actually own that on DVD and Blu-ray. I like it so much. It's a booklet featuring a tribute to Jean-Claude Lord by Fantasia programmer. And this one is this one is the one to grab. This is definitely, if you're not into all the other stuff, I'm going to say Minefield is a strong. Like that is starts getting crazy. Initially, Maddie, I think they had a very different like idea with that, and it wasn't going to be as what's the word, predictable as it turned out to be. It is very stitched together. It's a very highly troubled production. Because when you see a movie that comes out like Phobia, which for like a standard like watching it in the afternoon type of horror film or something, just what to put on, that seems okay. It seems pretty much like that's okay. But when you realize it's John Huston that directed this, you know that something's gone wrong there. Bring Stevens. Ah, there you go. I love Bring Stevens. So we are at Sellout. Okay. All right. Phony Corporation has just promoted doe-eyed Eric Tan to the head of production design, and he has already invented a revolutionary 8-in-1 soybean machine. Taste the silken tofu, the creamy soy milk, the crispy bean curd. It just has one reprehensible flaw. No flaws. The lack of a built-in breakdown mechanism appalls the conglomerate's two-man executive branch who resort to a budget exorcism to solve the problem, namely Eric. Also under the axe of is Phony's 21 TV11's ruthless host, Rafflesia Pong, whose specialty arts program is overshadowed by an increasingly popular art form, reality TV. Determined to claw her way back to the top, she lands on a morbid concept that finds an ally in the divided production designer. Yi Zhan Han's long unavailable musical Sellout, is presented here in both its Venice and director's cut alongside the original soundtrack of earworm musical numbers, in contrast to the realist new wave films of his contemporaries. Yeo presents a wildly funny, fantastical satire of cosmopolitan Lumpur, feeding off the city's inherent frictions, its languages, its dramatic wealth gap, its capital melees. Sellout takes equal aim at corporate monopolies, the film festival ecosystem, pan-Asian fetishism, consumerism, and money itself, skewering the media landscape and its enablers over a fiery, joyful flame. You ever wanted to kick over your cubicle, set Slack on fire, throw your computer out the window, and your boss right out after it? This is a rock anthem for your workplace revolution. Grady Hendrix, co-founder of Subway Cinema and New York Asian Film Festival. And I will tell you right now, as a guy that's worked in the cubicle atmosphere, yeah, yep, yep. I'm feeling this film. I'm really feeling this film. I did not even know this film existed. Apparently, it's 2008. Something that I missed out on. You guys know I am actually a secret musical fan. But man, this got a ton of features on here, including a cast commentary. There's a booklet. There's a bunch of like interviews, two cuts of the film. Yeah, this may be the secret like I guess hidden gem title, hidden gem musical that we've seen since well I guess Anna and the Apocalypse. And we get Factory 25's White Reindeer to end this one off with. Suzanne, a successful realtor living in the suburbs of Washington, D.C. with her weatherman husband, Jeff, is on top of the world as she prepares for Christmas, her favorite time of year. Things take a turn, however, when she comes home one day to find her husband brutally murdered. To cope with her overwhelming grief, Suzanne takes over from work at the suggestion of her colleagues. In the ensuing days, she tracks down a young stripper named Fantasia with whom Jeff had a long-term relationship, and the two begin to bond over their mutual loss. Through a relationship with Fantasia, Suzanne begins to cut loose, joining the stripper on escapades of drugs, clubbing, and shoplifting. Interesting little title there. Sounds like something I'd watch, but I'd probably buy that during a sale. I was thinking like kind of a twisted Office Space play. Uh, there's one other thing I got to bring this up here before I do it though. So I gotta. put me on the scene for a second while I check out something here for us, and we'll be going back to the to there because there was another announcement made today as well. And for those that don't know, whenever Severin has a sale, then one thing happens like during the sale. One very important, one very big happens during the sale, and that is that all of their bundles they they're not available during the sale. So they made an announcement today on Facebook, and just want to bring the announcement up here now. It's going to be hard, really, to beat like Vinegar Cinnamon in the sale. Vinegar Cinnamon's really kicking it with the sale now. That all their bundles will be not on sale during the so you can buy them separately, but you won't be able to buy them together. And that they're and that we basically they said, "What? Let everyone know that most of our bundles will be removed from the website once it goes dark in the week leading up to Black Friday sale. Once the website opens up again for the sale, the only ones that will remain will be either one or both of the psychotic women bundles, depending on our sellout sales status, as they're both running in low stock numbers right now. The others, Matei Mayhem, Fallen on the Terror, Joseph Remains, Bridget Leahy, and the biggest bundle will be 100% definitely gone. So there's only one way to get these titles at a discount. All are too recent to be included into the sale." And to give you an idea of what that is, we're going to go over to the Facebook page and check that out. We start here with the. It is late, Chester. All my videos are now much, much later. Um, it's actually, but this one's actually not too bad. It's 129 here, and since I get asked this a lot too, because I'm now a Marrakesh tester, it is 20 degrees. A lot of my videos to go between like 2 to 3, but I've been trying to keep my videos a little bit shorter. Do you have any Will Vinton claymation films? I don't think so. I'd have to check. My stuff is on its way, so I understand Stephen Root's stuff. I really do, and he's so good in that film. Okay, so we got the Bruno Mattei Mayhem bundle right here for $65. Bruno Mattei Goes to War. We got Double Target, Cop Game, and Born to Fight. That's definitely, I think that's the cheapest bundle out of all. Nope, here we go with the cheapest one. The Joseph Remains bundle has the Changeling on a 4K UHD of it. It also has the CD for the Changeling and the new slipcover, and a web story exclusive T-shirt that you can buy for $59. The Fall into Terror bundle gives you for $149 gives you the Changeling with the Blu-ray and UHD and CD with the slipcover. You get the slipcover and the bonus CD with Dracula versus Frankenstein. You get My Grandpa is a Vampire, the latest in the Severin Kids. It's its U.S. Blu-ray premiere. The 2 Blu-ray set, Tales to Keep You Awake, and the 2 Blu-ray set web story exclusive slipcover edition of the Plague Zombies trilogy. It does. It was probably meant to remind you of Crocodile Dundee. The Bridget Leahy bundle here is $135. It includes an faceless with a slipcover that will be autographed by Bridget Leahy, and faceless gets a 4K release. We also have the Female Executioner. That's a Blu-ray release that comes with a slipcover as well. You get the really awesomely huge book, The Cult Films of Bridget Leahy, which was given to me by DJ Nubis and DJ Nico from Meadow Tavern Podcast, which I definitely recommend that you check out. And you also get an 8x10 glossy autograph by Bridget Leahy. So you'll have an autograph photo of her as well. It'll be one of those three. You won't know which one it'll be. It's like getting a surprise package. Hey there, Arch. Welcome, man. So it's limited to 500, and for me, this is quite the deal. I'm trying to bring over the book in a second, but I gotta be very careful with it. It is really good. Let me bring over the book, Damien. I'm gonna try to convince you because Leahy bundle is good. I think another company, but it might have been the UK, Stand in Silence, or somewhere else, or France that released the Vice. I think it was France, released the Vice Academy films afterwards. I'm pretty sure that if Vinegar Syndrome has any way to do a standard release of Vice Academy, they would definitely do it because pretty sure the title sold pretty well. So we're going to go off here for 1 second because I'm going to show you the Bridget Leahy book. I'm going to be very careful because somebody that is having a hard time with monetization. That this here, by the way, because I know Damien's looking at this one, is the Bridget Leahy Cult Films Bridget Leahy book. As you can see, it is definitely a coffee table sized book. I want to see if there's anything I can show you in here because, as you know, a lot of Bridget Leahy's films are pretty raunchy. So I'm looking desperately to find a page that I can actually show you here. And so far, it has not been it has not been something I can do. Nope, I thought I did, but I didn't quite yet. So let's just. My God, come on, give me a picture where she's got clothes on. Just like one. Oh, there's a really cool one. I wish I could show you this. It is Bridget and the Apollos, and it's like this artist rendering of like Bridget Leahy and Marilyn Jess and all of them. There, it's super cool. Okay, I can show you this one. So here, there's a picture. This is of course from Faceless, and I think the other one is maybe Fascination actually. Pretty sure is that Fascination, guys? Because she worked a lot with Jean Rollin. Bridget Leahy did a lot of work with Jean Rollin, so hence the massive amounts of like nudity in her films. Jean Rollin was like infamous for his nudity. And yeah, there's Fascination right there. You can see how big and massive this book is. The write-ups and there's lots of pictures. So if you're a Bridget Leahy fan, you want to see some pictures. Like I think if you're into this stuff at all, definitely, because it's brilliantly done. I got to say, this is my first, I think, from Paul's video, but I don't think it's gonna be my last because they're really really good. There's another one right here, just to give you an idea. It's now with the machine gun, and but most of the pictures in this book are not things that I can show on here. Though to give you an idea of kind of what's in the book itself. Oh, careful. So it breaks down her things basically uh, through. There's a color chart here for genre, for instance. 47% of the films that Bridget Leahy made were the adulty type. 16% hit along the erotica genre. 10% were detective, action, thriller. 13% were comedy. 5% were drama, 7% were fantasy and horror, and 2% of her films were documentary. This book takes itself seriously and looking at the cult film career of Bridget Leahy, going through extensive pictures and articles and write-ups on different films, and I would 100% recommend it to anybody that is interested in Bridget Leahy or cult and genre filmmaking. It is. That was like one of the pluses for me. I have the two Stephen Thrower Just Franco books, which I still could do some Just Franco videos. Now that I got some more time, I'd actually be able to do those. But because my books are over here, and the Bridget Leahy book, although different coloring, fits in quite well with the Stephen Thrower Just Franco books, and of course with Nightmare Cinema as well, which is are other books that I recommend. If you're a fan of Vinegar Syndrome and Severin and that style of like cinema, then I recommend you check those. You check those out. Stephen Thrower's Nightmare Cinema is definitely something that you reference and that a lot of YouTubers will reference a lot, myself included. And I look to when I just can't remember a film that a genre film that I know that's coming from Vinegar Syndrome or Severin. They do tend to have a lot of them in there, and I do tend to enjoy it. I do a section on my Patreon, and I'm going to be doing a kind of a one here to hopefully get more people to come onto Patreon. Actually, I'm going to be honest with you. Or of my horrorcast, so you can see exactly one of the new things that I'm doing, and hopefully it'll persuade you to join the cult of Crimson. But either way, I'm super glad when you guys come in here with me to talk about this stuff. Hey, Rogue Waffles, welcome, man. I think I know the movie you're talking about, Mike. But I truly want this, and to let you guys know, this is it. By the way, this is the start of the month of Black Friday, or as Decker Shadow would say it, right? With a big, like, booming echo. The month of Black Friday, where we will be looking at Vinegar Syndrome and Severin throughout this month. We'll be highlighting the counts of like what's limited edition, what's going out of print. We're going to look at what we think might be coming up. We're going to look at different titles. We're going to focus on different things. It could be a VSA, one video could be VSUs or VSPs. We could be going through different titles. And as always, we're going to do an NSFY version on that I can't do on here. I wish I could. Like if YouTube was like super cool and that, but one like you want to talk about some of the bluer titles from Vinegar Syndrome, then I have to talk about them outside of outside of the channel, and that's because it's they do tend to get kind of like kind of pissy about it, and then I get demonetized for a while. Now I don't want to leave this one here without the thing that I do every single time that this starts, but doing it a little bit differently this summer because there is a new section, and it is called going out of print, and I think we should look at it now because we have to see what's going low in the Vinegar Syndrome stuff, and we'll look at the limit editions as well. We'll do the countdown, and we'll do a count on a weekly basis for these here titles. I'll do a separate video for Severin as well, as least as because they'll be announcing their 6 titles over the next couple weeks. Thank you, Chester. I really appreciate that. But we'll look at right now is we'll look into their to the out of print stuff because I want to make sure that you guys don't miss out on something that you want. So this is the out of print section. It's a brand new thing that Vinegar Syndrome has started to do, and we'll start off with some Wakefield Pool films right here. We got Bijou. Oh God, why do I always pronounce it wrong? and we have the Boys in the Sand, and then we have Take One, Moving, double feature. These are all Wakefield Pool, which are will be adult films, and they will be they're gay adult films. And he's supposed to be the master of them. So if you're into that stuff, then he's definitely like that's definitely one way that you want to go with. Surprisingly, actually, is Death Row Game Show is going out of print. Now these here, when they say these are going out of print, these are going out of print and they're not coming back. This isn't the thing where basically there's a slipcover. As far as I can tell, all of the titles that I'm going to show you right now, the night. I remember the game actually. Are Yo the Night are all going out of print. Death Row Game Show is a good one too, because it's a fun, cheesy little film that I got a real kick out of. There's some great stuff on there, including an early like making of documentary. There's a couple like short films by the director on here as well, and even has the director's cut of the film. Definitely one. I've only got like a not very good DVD copy of this film on a double feature with I think it's a Wim Shatner film, like Assassination of the President or something like that. So I really would like to get this one before it sells out. We have Death Machines here, which I think is one of those that almost everybody gets surprised with what it exactly is. Um, and it's different because it looks like it's going to be like a kind of almost like a sci-fi type film, but it's more like of a standard actioner. And it's super crazy and cheesy and fun. And I'm kind of shocked. I guess they're losing. These are early titles, so my thoughts are that they're probably losing the rights to these titles here. One that blows my mind and that I definitely am going to give a recommendation to is Don't Answer the Phone. Now this is not for everybody. I'm not gonna say that it is, but it's a video nasty. And if you are somebody that pretty sure it's video nasty, correct me if I'm wrong. I may be wrong on this one. But if you like this, the Nicholas Worth, I'm pretty sure the late Nicholas Worth. I don't want to be getting rid of a guy that's not, that's not passed away, but I think he is, because I'm pretty sure he was in Darkman. But this one here has a slipcover, and it is going out of print. Yep, we'll get down to that one actually in a minute. There's the adult film Blue Money, which is actually a very good one, a very good adult film, with an actual story that is going. Double Exposure is going out of print. It recently was put out by Umbrella Entertainment. This would be this is my preferred version of Double Exposure, but there is an edition out there. But if you're a Vinegar Syndrome fan and you want the Vinegar Syndrome edition of Double Exposure, definitely check that out. Now we get to some of the big ones. And I can see EH is like freaking here. So this is one of the reasons that this sale is going to be so important, guys, is we have the hearse. It's a classic little kind of a slow burn of a tale, but a really good one. I remember seeing this movie. I remember seeing this movie with a coffin coming through, getting pushed through a door that freaked the hell out of me when I was a kid. It stars Trish Van Devere, Joseph Cotton, as you guys know, is one of my favorite actors because Shadow of Doubt is my absolute favorite Hitchcock film, which he starred in with Teresa Wright. And then in 1980, it is going out of print. This is not the. It is actually Center Cade. That's the one where basically where he wants to where he's got to make at least I think he wants to get out of the industry, but it really shows like the background of the industry. So you're completely right. And sad to see it go. It's one that I've recommended to a lot of people. Once they got it, they realized um, past 2007. I knew it best way. Thank you, William. You're the first one hearing you come through with the info. Malibu High looks like it's your typical sexploitation Porky's style film. It's not. It's a dark film that runs into almost depressingly nihilistic stylings towards the ending of the film, and goes into directions that you wouldn't expect the film that starts this way to go, but it does go there. And truly an interesting film, one that I'm glad I got in my collection. It deserves its own release. It really does. You can get much valet girls down the road. But my chauffeur right here, Deborah Foreman, Sam J. Jones, Howard Hessman, Penn and Teller, E.G. Marshall, just an incredible cast of characters. Deborah Foreman, you will completely fall in love with her, like in this movie, as you have in many, many other films. My Chauffeur is a wonderful, different film for Vinegar Syndrome. I'm interested in the variant slips. I want to see where they go with it, and it's going to be interesting to see what their new takes on certain ones are going to be. Obviously, they're getting to a point where they're not going to be able to do like slips, like archival slips, because they're going to run out of titles. So it'll be interesting to see some of this stuff done into a done differently. Wow. Primeval and Lurkers, a double feature by the great Roberta Finley, who they put out one of my favorite like Vinegar Syndrome films from Roberta Finley, A Woman's Torment. Not for everybody, definitely. Like 100% gonna say that right out of the gate. But it's a film that like it was an adult film, but there's a non-adult version of it on there as well. That's actually really good. Um, and but this is the other one they put out that month. This was for their Halloween bundle around that time. Primeval and Lurkers is actually really good. A really good double feature. I'm very shocked to see that this one's going out of print. I got to make sure I got this right. Am I looking at going out of? Yes, this is going out of print. These are not ones with this slip covers are going. These are going out of print. And I look at the partner labels titles that are going out of print. Oh God, okay, this is a good one. I watched this one with my cousin Raj, and I got this one when it came out because it was an incredible title. Walking the Edge. Really like this movie. You got Robert Forster, Joe Spinell, incredible Joe Spinell, and Nancy Kwan. I think her was it her husband that did the film, um, but it's a really good like kind of revenge film. It's different. You got great cast. If you're like a soap opera fan, then the great A. Martinez, which some of you people know who played Cruz Castillo on Santa Barbara, is in this film. Actually, a very young A. Martinez. Matt, have a wonderful evening. Sorry if I kept you up later than you should be, but definitely come back and check this out. And we're going to be doing this. Where there's going to be a lot of videos this month, kind of focusing on the sale. So I'm going to be keeping updated on this, especially on this page and on the limited edition page as well. He did some really good lore. He seemed like really realistic in that role too. You're not the first person to say that, EH. It looks just like The Pit and the Pendulum. There was another one that came out at that time, too. I think if you look at the cover of Bloodbeat, the slipcover of Bloodbeat, that it looks like another title as well. There was a bit of a like kind of a mini controversy about it. The I know Stephanie Crawford is a big fan of this one. I think Brian from Just to This podcast, Pure Cinema podcast, is just his YouTube channel, which you should be checking out because he's a really nice guy and does some really great stuff. WNUF Halloween special. This was not what I thought it was. I don't have this one yet. I would love to have one of these here titles. I'm actually going to mention some of these to my mom, my dad for Christmas possibilities. I can't believe these are going to print. I really can't. Um, in yeah, I loved the um, Vinegar Syndrome television, like televised terrors box set. But for me, Primetime Panic is the best like TV movie box set that's come out yet. It's one of those, I think, EH, that you either really like or you just it just doesn't like work for you. And it could just be the fact that, you know, it may not be something that works for you, and that's fine. Because there's lots of movies that a lot of people tell me that, you know, that I should love that may not, may not work for me. We each got our own taste, man. And it's cool. So these are three good titles too. And this is such a gorgeous box set. Like I mean, I cannot wait to get this one here. We got Freedom, Dreams Don't Die, and Death Ride to Osaka, aka Girls of the Wild Orchid. Orchard. Each film's been restored into 4K from its original 35 millimeter OCN, presented in 4:3 and widescreen aspect ratios, with a lot of really good actors in these films. By the way, Paul Winfield. We got one of these here. I think we got Jennifer Jason Leigh in one of these films here as well. Mary Winningham is in one of these. Just some like incredible Mako, incredible actors, great audio commentaries, video essays. It's loaded. Hey there, Antoine. Welcome, man. Are you excited about the sale? I'm really shocked here. I don't know actually. If they did, I'm unaware of it. But if you can find it, what label it is, Damien, feel free to shout it out here. This is these titles that we're looking at right now, Antoine, are ones that are actually going out of print. As not in the slip covers are going out of print, but actually are titles that are going out of print from Vinegar Syndrome and some of the partner labels. Fancy Editions Radio On, which is down to 761, is going out of print as well. I do love the look of this one right here, and I don't remember this film very well. I'm going to be honest with you there. I wish I did, but it looks like a cassette case, and with Sting, gotta love something with Sting, and the Kid from Witch Mountain, really? Yeah, you're right. That's that the Kid from Witch Mountain. Is that the one with the kind of the? I always forget that my better half always remembers him and everything she sees him in. He's in the one with the, like the bully kid, the kind of like the drug guy. We got the American Genre Film Archives, Smut Without Smut, Satanic Horror Night. And basically, what Smut Without Smut is, it has taken some low budget, I think, adult titles and taken out the adult stuff. He was in one of the Terminator films, yeah, I'm pretty sure he was. Um, but I think the stuff for the adult versions are on here as well, kind of as bonus features. Um, so it's really interesting to see this one here. I know the first one sold out as well. We have one here from Norway from Terrorvision called Norway, which is down to 1258. That'll be going out of print, and once it's gone, it's gone. Killing Spree from Terrorvision is another one that is going out of print as well. And you got to get this one guy just for the epic beardage of this guy right here. Utilizing such unexpected devices as a killer ceiling fan, a TV set, an ordinary screwdriver, a hammer, and a lawnmower. Um, yeah, Killing Spree here. Uh, Morven Collar, I don't have that one actually, from Fancy Editions, is also going out of print. Bilitis, that's one that didn't really interest me that much, so, but it's down to 394. That's going out of print as well. Love and Saucers from Terrorvision is going out of print. There's 937 left on that one. Video Violence 1 and 2, 1,357. I'm actually surprised there's that many left for this one. No, this is one that people were kind of excited about when it came out. And I was kind of excited about this one too. This is actually, I think this is Brad Henderson, like his company that did this one. Heavy Metal Parking Lot is Looks to be going out of print as well. That's down to 785. I love this cartoony artwork. That's on this one. They got 2 pages of out of print stuff. Viva Erotica by Kenny and Blood, Guts, and Sunshine also are 2 titles that are going out of print. So that's a new thing that they have. And some of these titles are shocking to me. I'll be honest, like most shocking ones like that stand out are things like Primetime Panic, The Hearse, My Chauffeur. I never thought Death Machines would go to print from Vinegar Syndrome because Death Machines, much like Raw Force, it's just the movie you think about when you think if you've been like collecting Vinegar Syndrome for very long. It's a movie like kind of you associate with Vinegar Syndrome. Um, the Hearse, like one of those, I was so excited to get this one. They show that with the slipcover, but there's no slipcover available for the Hearse anymore. I wish there was. I'd buy it in a second. It's a shame because that means that for those that missed out on some of the early slipcover stuff like the Hearse, we're not going to be able to get a variant slipcover for that one because it's unfortunately going out of print. That blows my mind. Like when I came here today, guys, I thought like I'd go into the out of print stuff. I'd see a couple things that I'd expect to go to print, but I didn't expect to see much stuff like this. I just dive over to the limit editions really quickly. I don't want to keep you guys here too long, but I do appreciate everybody that stayed here, and I appreciate everybody that's hit the like button because it does help the channel a lot. And you know, without that, you guys wouldn't know when these videos are coming up. So I appreciate it. All right, limited editions. We got some stuff that's coming up. Some stuff that so we'll start. We'll start in the back, of course. We're gonna do limited edition stuff. We're gonna start at wow, there's 5 pages. We'll try to do this really quickly for you. So we have sugar cookies, and I'm getting the limited edition for this, by the way, guys. We're looking at. I'm going to guess, yeah. So there's a limited edition slipcover for this one right here. There are 1,000 left, and if you've never seen Sugar Cookies, it's a really cool little film with Lynn Laurie, a very young Lynn Laurie, playing 2 parts, and Mary Warnoff is really good in this film as well. I did enjoy this one a lot. Limit 2 per customer. Crazily fun film, and there's a bit of vertigo slash body double slash mystery uh, kind of in this one here. We got Graduation Day. Do we really? Okay, we still got limited edition slipcover in this one with over 1,000. Actually, this is a really good slip, by the way. And this is a really good little title. I actually really like Graduation Day. Definitely let me know if you when you watch it, EH. I'd be kind of curious to what you think. The graffiti artist. Oh, there you go. That's who he was. And we got a great cast for this one here. We got Christopher George, Michael Pataki, Linnea Quigley, Vanna White. Yep, that Vanna White. Carmen Argenziano, and of course the incomparable final girl, Patch McKenzie. And we're down to 1,000 on that one. Got Frightmare here, which is down to 1,000. I got to rewatch this one. People tell me that I watched this one like early on in my Vinegar Syndrome watching because this was definitely an earlier Vinegar Syndrome title, and I watched it at night, and I was extremely tired. So I don't think I gave it the chance it deserves. So I really got to watch this again because it's got some of my favorite actors in it. We got Freddie Main, Jeffrey Combs in this one here, Nita Talbot. I really got to give this another watch. I do kind of dig this cover though. It's much better than the cover I got. I would love to get that slip. We got Corruption here. It's got 1,000. And let's not forget, guys, Corruption has that secret film on there. The Last House on Dead End Street, directed by Roger Watkins, who directed that. There's a secret Last House on Dead End Street. Teacher practically hits on all his students. Yeah, and that one is 1,000, right? Yeah, 1,000 on that one. Some of these like slipcover ones are going to be 1,000. The Bees is another fun one. We've got two of the big Johns there, John Carradine and John Saxon, and that's got 1,000 right there. And we get Angel Tompkins as well, from of course The Teacher is one of the things I know her from. Graduation is one of those movies that I thought was insane when I watched the ending of it when I first saw it in high school. And it's one of those movies that really has gotten better over years. True, yeah. Well, Pete Walker's Frightmare is a classic, man. I don't think you like Sheila Keith is so creepy in Frightmare. Hangs Upon Nothing. This is, I think, the last title from their Etiquette Pictures sublabel that they had early on. This has been the hardest sell out of all the Etiquette Pictures. I think pretty much everything else Etiquette Pictures is out of print. We'll know in a second when I go back. This is the last of them, and once they are gone, they are gone. We have Rick Sloan's classic Hobgoblins here with 695. And I'm going to say I do kind of like the slipcovers. It actually is kind of cool. Hobgoblins is a fun little title. Hey, I hope the guitarist is going well. Well, my dad will be proud, man. My dad is, I think you know, Kubrick was a musician. That's what he did. He played like like sang in bands, played guitar, played bass, um, the works. And that's actually not a man, EH. That's Sheila Keith. Um, and that white hair, white face that she has on the cover. I know it looks kind of like it's just the way the drawing's done. It's from a nightmare sequence, but it is a part of the film. Severed Arm and Killers of Light, I definitely give a recommendation on that one too. You know how to play guitar, too? Nice. There you go, Gleaming. Kubrick, be free. It's band starting time. I would love to know how to play guitar. I definitely can't do it. Air guitar. I don't think I'm even good at that. Don't Answer the Phone, as we know, is not only just going out of print, not actually just going out of stock, it's going out of print altogether. We looked at that one, it's got over 1,000. Severed Arm. Again, I never liked the slipcover on this one, but I do like the film. I definitely do have to get this one down the road. 506 of these are left, so we're going to keep an eye on this one. Naughty Victorians, we'll do real quick on this one because it is an adult title, 790. We have Perfect Strangers here. I think this is Larry Cohen, if I remember correctly. Yeah. Um, I heard that this is really good. I don't remember this one at all, actually. But a neo noir with Larry Cohen, that's definitely in up my alley. 556 are left, so we got to keep an eye on that one as well. Because I know it seems like 500 is a lot, but every time that a sale happens from Vinegar Syndrome, they draw in more people. And with Roadhouse coming in, an extremely popular action film, we can expect to get more first timers during this sale here, much like we did with Rad and the times when they brought in some of the other like more mainstream films. And people tend to get FOMO during the sale. They'll see titles, they'll go look at the limited editions, they'll see the slipcovers, they'll watch videos online before it because they want to make sure when Rad came out, a lot of people want to make sure Vinegar Sim was a legit company. They hadn't heard of them before. Um, and people got excited and became became Vinegar Syndrome fans and watched a lot of the videos online, watched some of the unboxings to make sure. And people tend to come in, see the slip covers, the way that they're done, and try to grab these and as many as possible, and to watch to see how low they are getting. Must for Liquid Sky fans. I still gotta get Liquid Sky, you know. The 11th Commandment as 1,000. I'm still not sure on this one. I don't remember. I don't think I've seen this. I still think it looks like Fisher Stevens on the cover, but definitely it's that one's still around. Uh, sorry, Severed Arm. Let me show you again there. Memorial Valley Massacre is into 537. I actually really dig this film. I'm not going to lie here. Nothing as of yet. I mean, as far as I know, Sidekicks is still a rumor. I don't think it's been confirmed. If it has, I missed it. But if I find anything out, Chester, I'll make sure that you guys know right away. This is a fun little film. I think people underrate it. I really do. I know it's not like super great. It's got Cameron Mitchell, but yeah, and William Smith. I know what you're gonna say. Cameron Mitchell would be, there wasn't a movie Cameron Mitchell wouldn't do. But I just got a kick of this film. We got the Beastmaster, the limited edition slipcover. Of course, we had the VSU edition of this initially, which was a gorgeous edition with a magnetic box. But afterwards, they put out the limited edition slipcover version of this one. There's over 1,000 left on this one here, so we're good with this one, I think. What the heck just happened there? Come on. We're at page 3. I do apologize, guys. We're at page 4. We're at page 5. I'll make sure we're looking at these right. You're at page 5. Holy crap. We got High School Fantasies, which is one of their, is it EGFA or an adult? Is this an adult title, right? Renee Bond. Yeah, okay. Yeah, so this one here is down to 235. So if you wanted High School Fantasies. That's who bro dudes crushing beers and getting killed. Like, it's not the like, that's true. Anytime bro dudes get killed, that sounds horrible, doesn't it? Satan's Blood is down to 137 copies. If you want to get the slipcover version of this one here, it does have a 45-minute Spanish documentary on the making of it here, and a commentary by Sam Deegan and Ket Ellinger. So you know that's going to be a really, really good commentary. Another one that was like unofficially thought about, Chester, at one point was I think the Punisher, the 1989 Punisher, but it turned out to be Roadhouse instead. But fingers crossed, Sidekicks and Punisher eventually both those titles that I want to get released. We got everybody's favorites here, Cthulhu Mansion, which actually I don't think is a bad film because we get a Juan Picar Simon documentary on here, who did some really cool stuff, including the beautiful film Pieces and so many others, including Slugs. We got Dark Tower, everybody's favorite. Still over having 1,000 copies left, and I think that's going to have 1,000 copies left for a little bit. I'm personally, I think is going to like Dark Tower, but I understand a lot of people don't. He killed for real. No, I feel bad. No, fingers crossed, Chester. History in the Dark is I really like this film. 1,000 copies left on this one here. That's Umberto Lenzi. We got The Fear here, which I think I'm the only person that liked, which is 1,000 copies. I'm sorry, I do like this. I would like to see The Fear 2 come out. Forgotten Jelly Volume 3. We still have this one in the box set edition, and this is a really good one too. I'm surprised it wasn't sold out yet. We still had over how many we got here for this one? You don't say how many are left. But this is the one that at Autopsy, and there was Autopsy and Murder Mansion, which was a really good title, and Crazy Desires of Murder, which I actually really liked. Girl School Screamers. I kind of expected you would, S World is, I guess, going to be getting fairly low. Oh, no, it's got 1,000 left. And this has the late Kay Parker, who recently passed away, unfortunately. Rest in peace, Kay Parker. And Kit Nativita as well, by the way. She's not in S World, but we have Death Promise here, and that one is down to 901. Gotta love this cover on Death Promise, I'll tell you that much right now. It's one heck of a damn good cover. Last Gasp is actually supposed to be a fairly decent film. Autopsy is actually really good. And I love the fact of the way that they took it. And this has Robert Patrick from Terminator 3, and of course the later seasons of X-Files. Joanna Paquila is in here as well. And I don't think have I seen this? I maybe have seen this a long time ago, but I have heard nothing but like really good stuff about this. Which out of print slips do I think are going to be the first to get a variant? I would say they'd go for something. They want to go for something popular, something that they probably done early on, and I'd say they were going to start with horror because horror tends to have like a popular when it comes to the variant titles. Now there's it'll depend on like some of the earlier ones. I'd have to look back to see what the earlier ones are. It's really good actually. Murder Mansion's actually surprisingly good, and I don't mean like that like in a negative way, as in like oh I'm surprised it was good, but in that uh, Volume 1 and 2 for Forgotten Jelly were really good and I really enjoyed them. Volume 3 is when I think it really hit its stride and just became solid films. But I'm not sure, Ragnar. That's a good question, though. I'll try to look up some more information out over the next week or so. We'll be doing a lot of videos on this. Rush Week is here with over 1,000. Again, this is a fun little one. Um, and it's got the stuntman from Roadhouse, so this may sell a few during the sale. Pretty good cast, too. Pamela Ludwig, Dean Hamilton, Roy Fiennes, one of my favorite actors, actually. We got another kind of adult double feature here. I'm going to try to get this really quickly, and it has 650 copies left. Six String Samurai. This is it still has over 1,000 copies left. It's still in the VSU. This was one of the VSU ones that didn't tend to do as well as the others. I thought it was fun, but then again, hey there, Roy, welcome, man. Whorehouse on Highway 5. Oh, can you imagine if they did like put it out there with Hellbent, right? Was the other one that was done? I think Hellbent was the other one. God, that would be amazing. I got both of them, but they were really cool titles, and it was a definitely was a slasher title. Blood Hook is most I yeah, Blood Hook would be a good one to do like a different edition of because people do tend to want that one, and it does have a big aftermarket one. The Dickies play a concert in Rush Week. That's cool. All right, next is The Cellar, which is at 501. This was a pretty big deal when it came out because it was another Kevin Tenney release that people didn't think was going to get released. And then as soon as Kevin Tenney said like, "Oh, I'm working with Scream with Vinegar Syndrome," people knew, okay, it's got to be this film. This is the original, the OG Homegrown Horrors box set, Volume 1. If you're getting Volume 2 coming, you don't have Volume 1, this may be the time to pick it up. It's still at over 1,000. I'm actually surprised on that. It has a gorgeous box set. We get 3 films here: Beyond Dream's Door, Winter Beast, and the much lamented Fatal Exam, which apparently a lot of people were really like disappointed with, but I think could be a hell of a lot of fun. Horror House on Hawaii 5 is so fun. It is so fun. Right to the beginning, to the end, to the absolutely insaneness, because there's all Horror House on Highway 5 is all these fragmented sections that come together to make up a film that shouldn't make sense and shouldn't be fun, and it doesn't make sense, but it is fun. Surf 2 has over 1,000 left, and I'll be honest with you, it's okay. This is definitely one where I feel you're gonna want this for a sale price. Now, some people may be like huge proponents of Surf 2 because everybody has their own likes and dislikes. Now, one thing to remember, and I think I probably should have mentioned this before, is that my chair just broke. I'm not even joking. This. So I'm changing chairs here, guys. What happened there? Must have been leaning on it. I gotta fix it. Not now. I got another chair beside me. But on live videos, guys, anything can happen. And it just did. I'm not that big. Hey, Josh, welcome in. So Surf 2 is one of those that I just wasn't that big on, but it's got its fans. There's a couple scenes that I actually like, but overall it was a bit of a chore. Now, Televised Tears, please buy this, guys. I want a second volume. This is their first television horror box set, which has Are You in the House Alone, which is considered one of the best, actually. We got Robin Matson from Santa Barbara General Hospital and a lot of like the kind of like nurse movies back in the day that Roger Corman did. We have Trish O'Neill in here. We have got Dennis Quaid. Blythe Danner's in this film. Kathleen Beller. Some really, really good actors in this one here. And directed by Walter Gorman. It's a really good film. Such a good, like, and such a big deal. It did. Like, we have these older kind of, I'm going to say kind of antique type chairs. So they're very, like, we're very careful usually when we sit on them. And I was kind of think I was leaning forward a bit. They're, I think they're brass. That's why I can't camera. Uh, and I was kind of like leaning forward a bit too much, which I'm not supposed to do in this chair. The five sips is a little bit insane. That one still baffles me. But Iron House Alone was such a groundbreaking film of the type that it was, and it's not a slasher film. It's more of it's a stalker film, really, and there's SA involved in the film. But it was actually literally had like when Amanda Race made a book about TV horror films, she titled it "Are You in the House Alone?" Count No Girl Murders is a lot of fun too, with an early role from Sharon Stone. We got Alan Thicke in this one. If you're Canadian, you know who he was. Rest in peace, Alan Thicke. We got Pat Corley, and of course Tom Skerritt, who's going to be in the next film as well. Child of the Night, which a lot of people made fun of because of the Elijah Wood like face on the cover, but it turned out to be pretty much everybody's favorite on here as well. Slapstick. There you go. Actually, we won't go into that. Oh, the Cardona collection. I'm not recommending it. I'm sorry. But it is over 1,000 left in stock on that one. I can't in good conscience recommend that one. I didn't like it. And maybe your jam if you're a Cardona person. Definitely. I got to read the novel. I had it years ago. Um, Alien from LA, if it's the one I'm thinking of. Oh, you mean the book that Amanda Rice put out? I got to get that. And I thought I had that one too, but I didn't. But I didn't, or I did have it, and I lost it somewhere along the way. Alien from LA is one that I was totally cron expected this. I remember this being super horrible when I saw it initially. Watched it, completely fell in love with this film. Thought that Albert Pion did a great job at world building, and Kathy Ireland actually is really good in this film. Through the Fire, I don't remember very well, but we're over 1,000 on this one here. The Lamp is at over 1,000. If everything else comes a bit over 1,000, I'm gonna, I won't go through everything. Over 1,000, Killer's Light. Terminal Island, over 1,000, 4K. I recommend this one. This is a really good title. Jason Severs from Growing Pains. That's correct. How we lasted for all those seasons having to act next to Kirk Cameron is beyond me. We got Tough Guys Don't Dance. It's one of those that I watched and I thought was super insane, but I loved it. Like, you got a Mailer novel made into a movie directed by Norman Mailer himself. Gross Gross Screamers here, which we got some likes for, is at 1,000. Annie Lee's Meat Pies at 1,000. Whatever It Takes is a VSA, so we're hitting the VSAs here, which is this one's still over 1,000. Phantasm is this is actually a two film set. Phantasm and Phantasm Comes Again. They're kind of like softcore, kind of like fun little cheesy titles from Australia that I thought were a lot of fun. Definitely should not have been put in Peakorama. Shallow Grave, a really good title there. That one is still in the over 1,000. Resurrections over 1,000. And the thing is, one of these here can be over 1,000, but if it just happens to hit a bunch of people at the same time. I remember when they put out the Ruben Galando Jr., the third one, during the sale, and Grave Robbers, right? It just come out pretty much like a month or two before. It wasn't. I don't think it was even. I don't know if it was on sale or just hit the cusp of the sale, but it sold out like over that weekend. Phantasm films are fun. They are fun. Like, see, I like Phantasm films with a PH and an F. Right, right. Devil's Story. I'm gonna say as crazy insane as this was, I kind of love this film. I am very sad that the actress in this movie didn't do anything afterwards because of the kind of hellish time she had on the film, and the director blamed her for literally his failures. No, it's you find out if you watch it, but she's really good actually. We got Blades here. I know some people love this film. It's over 1,000. Debbie Does Dallas #2. This is a Peakorama. This is over 1,000 on this one here. It really baffles me that Flesh for Frankenstein is still at over 1,000. We got Censor here, and this one has gone under 1,966. I actually really like Censor. I know some people didn't, but I got a real kick out of it. This one here too. Nothing Underneath Too Beautiful to Die. It's kind of late '80s giallo, and it's giallo. It is giallo, but it's more of it's stylistic, fashionista era giallo. So if you took like the glam of Dynasty and put it into like a giallo format, that's exactly what this is. Yeah, well, Mark Hartley's film Not Quite Hollywood, fantastic one. Actually, that's I've watched that so many times. Right, you have like you would not believe. Um, we also got here The Laughing Dead, which is still over 1,000. That's one I haven't watched. Out of all the ones I got, I haven't watched. Ticks. I had a lot of fun with Ticks. That one's over 1,000. Again, not for everybody, but still. The Grave I don't have yet. That one's still over 1,000 VSA. The Camilla Keaton box set. Um, I recommend it. Not every title is gonna strike everybody, I don't think, but overall, I think that the one with the 10 minutes of additional long last sex sequences, that's the one that is probably the lesser of the three. Angela's well. We got Dario Argento's Trauma, and that is over 1,000. Really? They must have really. How many of this did they print? 10,000. Okay, that's why. Ebola Syndrome. If you're a Cat 3 fan, I'm not a huge Cat 3 fan, then this is probably going to be your jam. Creature, I liked. I really like Creature. Over 1,000 on that one. TC 2000, not as bad as some people say. Not as bad as even I say. I got to watch The Grave, I really do. I trust your opinion, man. If you want, do you like the films Rudery more? You can buy them all together in a box set. There's only 149 left for this set. I got all the films, so I didn't buy the box, but love the Rudery Moore films. Steel and Lace is sadly still over 1,000. This is one that I said was the sleeper of the titles that came out that month, and I stand by that. Dead Heat right here is at 154 with this limited edition subcover. Now remember, a lot of the ones I'm looking at here are not the out of print ones. If you didn't watch, if you just came in later and you didn't see my where I talked about the out of print titles, there's a lot of surprising titles going out of print from Vinegar Syndrome, and I reviewed them earlier, so check that out earlier in a part of the video later, and we'll try to make sure that I keep updating you on that. I love Dead Heat too, actually, I really do. Do I have? I don't think I've got Curfew. That one's over 1,000 as well. Master of the World is over 1,000. Forgotten Jolly, Volume 4. I don't have this one, but I like these films actually. Arabella Black Angel, I really liked. A very different film. Very sleazy. The Killer is Still Among Us. Again, another one that I really liked. And of course, Sister Ursula. I've always been a huge fan of Sister Ursula. And I just love the cast. We get Barbara Magnolfi, of course, from Suspiria, in this one, and Mark Perel really stands out. Alley Cat. Alley Cat's fantastic. I love me some Alley Cat. Fortress of America was kind of the is over 1,000. I'm not sure. Maybe it's better than I remember, guys. what it was the one where I thought like maybe this shouldn't be a VSA, but I'm glad it's there. We got a 4K of Madman right here. That's still over 1,000. I already own Madman though, so I really it's one that I like, but didn't really need a 4K edition of it. Got the Scary of 61st, still running over 1,000 on that one. I think that was on Shutter for a while. Double feature Peakorama, it's over 1,000 there. Sister Sister is actually a pretty cool one with Jennifer Jason Leigh. That's over 1,000. Beware Children at Play is in the over 1,000 category. Are these all going to be over 1,000 from here on out? Wolfpack is over 1,000. Gotta be really careful with this one. Peakorama is over 1,000. Track the Sucks is another adult one that I definitely recommend. It's over 1,000, and it also has the Lake K Parker in it. You get the 6s and 4, understandable, man. The 4K edition of Schizoid X-Ray, if you saw my Scream Factory video on my Crimson Cult, then you know that I'm a huge fan of these two films. And brand new, I would love to get this one down the road. Form School Girls, again over 1,000. Hard Rock Zombies, Slaughter High, over 1,000. I'm pretty sure all these are going to be over 1,000. Towns of the Eagle, definitely going to be over 1,000. Cloak and Daggers, over 1,000. It's kind of surprised. That was a big one. Miami Connection, over 1,000. That's a really good one. I recommend that one. Alien Private Eye, I don't know this one, over 1,000. Flesh Eaters, I can see that one being over 1,000, though. I can see some people like really wanting it. Surprised that Death Wish 2 is over 1,000. They must have did a lot of copies. Only 5,000, really. Yeah, physical media is changing, guys. Peakorama Stiff Competition's over 1,000. That's a really different one. Taboo, the box set. That's just the box, by the way, guys. Is 597 left. So you want to get the Taboo films and put them in a way that it's not going to be so salacious. There's a way to do it. Thriller, Cruel Picture. Some people love this. Some people hated it. That one is over 1,000. Now this is a limited edition slipcover version of this. There was a kind of real limited edition version that's already sold out. Their first bringing back of the what's it called again? What's it? The Drive-In Classics, something like that. The Drive-In Collection. Finishing Drive-In Collection gets a Blu-ray upgrade with Horror High Stanley double feature. You got Scared to Death here, and fun little title for over 1,000. Fight of the Rock Aliens is over 1,000. Expect No Mercy, but you might go to sleep. Are they? But My Husband, Sweet Pumpkin, are both Roberta Finley. I did not know that. Thank you. Arcadia, you have a great night there. It's almost up over anyway, so we're just going through the last page of this one here. Hey, Josephine, welcome. Happy All Souls Day to you as well. Red Surf is here at over 1,000. This one I found kind of interesting, but I didn't pick it up. And I think we're going to our last page right now. I'm pretty sure we are. So thank you all that stayed with me for this chat, because I know it's been a bit long. Shriek the Mutilated is here at over 1,000 as well. We got Righting Wrongs with Cynthia Rothrock, definitely going to be over 1,000. I'm pretty sure all these are going to be. The Jess Franco double feature, Two Undercover Angels, Kiss Me Monster. Buy that if you want to see more Jess Franco come out from them. Cyber Vengeance, we got it here for over 1,000. There's a Peakorama, Roller Babies, and Mount of Venus are in the over 1,000 category. Hot Snake and Guns and Guts. One of them is Rene Cardona Jr. Girly. I'm seeing. What's that? Nanny. Oh. It'll be interesting. The Birds 2. Not a great film, but a fun film. Forgotten Jelly, the fifth volume is here. And that one had a white dress for Marielle. Tropic of Cancer. And 9 guests for a crime. I don't think this one's going to be on sale, but it's over 1,000 on that one. It's Incredible Melting Man. I'm pretty sure none of the rest of these here are going to be on sale throughout for this sale here. But there you go. You've watched We've gone through the Vinegar Synonym titles. We went through the newsletter tonight. For those that didn't see the earlier stuff, we got to actually premiere a brand new opening for the channel. I want to really thank everybody that gave a thumbs up, because it looks like there's 36 thumbs up on this video, and I truly 100% appreciate that. It means a lot to me. You're going to be seeing more videos for Vinegar Synonym, more videos for Severin. We're basically going to be doing some in-depth coverage for, as we always do, for the Vinegar Synonym titles. Just because I moved somewhere else doesn't mean that the Vinegar Synonym Severin Black Friday stuff isn't going to get shown. It's going to get shown big time. So once more, let's hit that new opening, which I hope a lot of you guys enjoy. There's another version of it that's coming out, and let's hope we hit the right button. But I'll see you soon, right here in the Call to Cinema International.